Hey, let's take a look at Full-Stack-Kit code base and features and how it can help you ship your next big idea faster. So once you've got access to the code base, the next thing you have to do is set up authentication. So to do that, you just have to go to the app folder and app.config.ts file. And if you scroll down here, you can see we have auth providers. Now, by default, we have 4 providers enabled. We have the email provider, the Google, Facebook, and GitHub provider. You can choose which one you want to enable. If you don't want to use Facebook, for example, I've set Facebook to false here, and we only have the option to sign in with Google, GitHub, and email. Now I'm gonna put Facebook to true back. Okay. Now, once you've done that, next thing is provide your client ID and client secret. Now, if you don't know how to get your client ID and client secret, we have a pretty useful documentation here. You just have to follow them and get your client ID and client secret, put them in your .env file, and you are good to go. Now, you can just do npm run dev, and your app will be listening at localhost 3000. And if we go to the app here, now let's go to the sign in page, and you have this beautiful form where users have the option to sign in with email, Google, Facebook, and GitHub. Now, let's say we don't want to give user a Facebook option, for example. Now, let's go back to our config file and set Facebook to false, right? Now, when you go back, you can see here Facebook is gone, okay? Now, let's try signing in with email. So I'm gonna put my email here, okay? This is my email, and then click on sign in with email, okay? We have pretty nice confirmation page that an email is being sent. I'm gonna go to my email account. You can see here the first email is your magic link. Click on it. Now you can see this beautiful HTML email that we've sent to the user, okay, with our logo here, the name of our application, beautiful message, and we have this button here where user can click to sign in into their account. Now, if for some reason this button doesn't work, we also give the user the option to just copy paste this link here into the browser, and they'll be signed in. Now let's click on the button because it works. Now, just like that, and we have authenticated using magic link into our application. Now I can go back to the landing page, and as you can see, I'm authenticated. Instead of sign in, I have the dashboard option here. Click on it, and I'm into my dashboard again. Now I can refresh. You can see it's persisted. I am signed in. Now let's sign out. Click log out. Yes, sign me out. Okay, now I'm signed out. I'm back into the sign in page. Now let's try signing with Google. Click on it. I have 2 Google accounts connected. So ask me to choose one. I'm gonna choose this one. Okay, now I'm connected with Google. So you can go back again and click on dashboard. I'm into my dashboard because I'm signed in. Okay, now let's take a look into the account. So inside the account, user has 3 sections. This is a profile section where user can update their first name, last name, okay? And also we have the connected accounts. Now this is all the accounts that the user has connected. So as you can see here, I have only one connected account, which is the Google account. I can choose to connect my GitHub account as well. If I want to, I can just click on it. Now here's the thing, I only have one account connected, one GitHub account connected. Once I click on connect GitHub account, it will connect right away, okay? Click on it, and here it is. Now I have 2 connected accounts, Google and GitHub. Now I can choose to disconnect one. I can disconnect the GitHub one, for example, and say yes, disconnect. Now GitHub is disconnected. The third section here is delete my account. So user can delete their account. If you click delete my account, you can say yes, delete my account, but I'm not gonna do that. Cancel. If you don't want to give user the access to delete their account, you can just go back into the config file and search for account, okay, and the allow delete account and set it to false, okay, it's false. And now when you go back, refresh, now this section is gone. User is no longer able to delete their account. Now that was authentication. Now let's take a look at authorization. Authorization is who has access to which resources. For example, we have some admin pages. Only admin users can access admin pages. Now this user is not an admin, so this is a simple user. So if this user tries to access an admin page, for example, let's go to admin/users, which is the user's listing, there we go. We have a 401, you are not authorized to view this page. So why is that? Because this user is a simple user and he's trying to access an admin page. So how is that done? So if you go back to the code base, right, and go to users, right, the users page, you can see here we have a require auth function and we specify that role.admin. So this page is a protected page. The user should be authenticated and the role of the user should be admin. So based on that, this function is gonna return authorized or not, and we can access if the user is authorized. If it is not, we just return an unauthorized page. Let's go back to our app and we're gonna change the role of the user to be an admin. So to do that, just have to copy the email. We're gonna go to our code and I have created a lot of scripts for you. If you see how we have a scripts folder and we have a set admin.js, just have to do node scripts and set admin.js. I'll say -- email gonna equal to the email of the user, and then we click enter and here it is. This user is now admin. Now we go back to our app, okay, and we refresh and hopefully you can see this user is now admin and he has access to the /users/admin/users page. /admin/user is a list of all the users that we have in our database. Now we can filter, for example, if I filter by Jen, you can see here query is updated in the URL for Jen and we have 2 results back, Jen Doe and Janet Jackson. Okay, you can remove the filter, everything goes back to normal. We can also sort ascending and descending based on a column. We can also remove some columns if we want to, for example, right? And we can put them back. Also, we can edit user. For example, if I want to put this user as admin, I can click here and say edit user. And then once I'm on the edit user page, I can select the admin role here and then I can click save. We can also ban users. For example, if I want to ban John Doe in my application, I can click edit user. I can set the ban here to true. Okay, alternatively, we have this option here as well. Like we can just click here and ban the user and say yes, ban, and now the user is banned. So this is the users management page. So only admin has access to this page. Next, we have these banners here. Like you can see here, we have this banner here. So how do we manage these banners? Now, if I want to put a banner into my application, I want to inform users about a discount or something, I can just go to the banners page. So this is the banners page. And you can see this one is the active banners. If I want to remove it, I can click on edit, okay? And then I don't want this banner to show up here. I switch the is active to false and I save. And now you can see the banner is gone. Now, if I want to activate this banner, for example, the Black Friday get 50% off, I can click here, I can click on edit. As you can see here, I can toggle the is active and save. And here our banner is activated. Every user of my application can see this banner here. If I go to the landing page, it will still be there. This is my banners. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. Banners. I can also create a new banner. So create new banner. Can give it a title. So this is a new banner. Description. Let's say get full stack kit now and ship your projects 3 times faster. Okay, and for the link, I can put a link as well. Let's say billing for the link. Okay, in the link text. By now, okay, then I can see it's active. Okay, see here I have this one, but once I save here, create here, you can see this one is now active. Next thing I want to show you is the announcements page. Now, if you go to announcements, so this is the announcements management. Announcement is to communicate important information to your users, like updates, bug fixes, new release, etc. We can filter by exciting news, by updates, by bug fixes, Okay, now when a user go to the landing page and click on what's new, the user can see all of the announcements that we've published. The user can also filter by announcement types, for example, exciting news. And also it's paginated. If there is a lot, user will be able to paginate to click on next and previous page. And let's go back to our dashboard, go back to announcements. So let's gonna create a new announcement. Click here, and we're gonna say this is an update. So you can see we've updated the full stack kit. And then for simplicity, let's just copy the sentence here and paste it here 4 times. Okay, and then say create. Set the is active and then create. Now you've created a new announcement. Here it is. If a user goes to our application now, right? The user go to the application. The user will see a red dot next to what's new because there's new announcement now. And when the user click on what's new, the user will see the new announcement, right? New update, and the red dot disappears because the user has already seen all of the announcements now. Okay, let's go back. Now this is the admin panel. So we've seen authentication, authorization, and admin panel, everything you can do. Next, we're gonna take a look at payments and subscriptions with Stripe.